Good morning, y'all. On a Thursday afternoon here, y'all. How's it all going here on a Thursday afternoon or a Thursday morning, my bad? How's it going on a Thursday early morning here at about 9:28 this morning? Hopefully everybody's gonna tune in. Hopefully everybody's gonna be all right when they tune in. And I just wanted to basically come on here this morning and just basically talk about how you can start your career out on being a cowboy here this morning on this King Ranch this morning. Um, yes, as of right now, I am listening to my King Ranch music, but I don't know as if I would get copyrighted if I was to um, get this done. And I just wanted to come on here and mention that I do have a Cash App now. With that all being said, here on this King Ranch, um, I'm going to be, saying that, um, calling around looking for, stables and stuff that I can go and work at. And I did make a couple of phone calls this morning, and I made a couple last night. With that all being said, hopefully everybody's tuning in and doing all right this morning. Yes, first thing this morning, all I did was get up and you see it, and I'm doing it. So you got to live to fight another day as a cowboy, and as a cowboy, you got to do what you got to do. As you can see, I'm indoors and not outdoors, and you might be wondering why I'm indoors instead of outside. It's raining, okay, and I don't do with all the rain and stuff like that. But yes, I do understand that if I get a job, I'm going to be working outdoors and doing these careers and doing these, jobs to where I have to be outside and having to do what I have to do. But as a cowboy, people have to realize I do what I can try to do. I do what I please. I can't go around saying I do what I want no more, except for when I'm home. Then I do what I want. But if I'm working for somebody else at stables and doing this, doing that, I don't do what I want no more. I'm doing it on their time because they're going to be the ones who are basically paying me and basically doing all of, the whole 9 yards when they're paying me. And yes, I do have a Cash App card. I have Cash App on my phone. So whenever YouTube itself decides to pay me and stuff, and I start doing these longer videos. Starting today, I'm going to try to go as long as I can. But if I get bored, I'm going to try to find music that's going to be reliable for, and there's people that I actually watch, do what they do. And there's a girl on YouTube that, plays music while she's talking and stuff, and I don't see if she don't get copyrighted if I can do it. And there's certain music that YouTube's actually allowing people to listen to while they're doing their YouTube lives and stuff like that now. I think YouTube itself is starting to change a little bit to where they're going to rely on people doing what they want and doing what they please. And with that certain thing, you have to see where I'm coming from, and you have to see where the person that you're working for is coming from as well. Now, I'm not a weather guy, so I don't know if it's going to stop at around noon or if it's going to just continue all day long. I'm not 100% sure on what's going on here this afternoon or today, but I just do know that when my uncle decides to come down from Indiana or wherever he may be today working, that he gets time off, and and that he gets to actually come down here with his with his family, meaning his wife and his kids. I'm hoping that they get to come down here because I would love to see his kids and spend time with them and talk to them, see how they're doing in school, this, that, and the other thing, and do part time my career. And some people are going to tell me that I'm going to be going back to landscaping. Well, there's time for that, but I'm not going back to it. You know, I'm not going back to it. I'm done. But there is a certain time that I will be saying, "Oh, I'm going back," but I'm not. I'm done this time. I'm for real on that. I posted it on Facebook. I said, "Please do not call. I'm done doing landscaping for good. Whatever you do, please do not call," and stuff like that. And I do have a couple of hits on there talking about, "Oh, that looks like the yard guy that I know," or the old lawn guy that I do know, and stuff like that. But as a career, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm not going to be doing lawn care no more. I'm done with it. Some people are going to tell me, "Oh, you're going to go back." No, I'm not. I'm done. And Chris wanted to mention that yesterday or the day before, whenever me and him were at my sister's, that I would be going back to landscaping. And I said, "No, you don't know me. You don't own me. You don't know nothing about me." And he wants to sit there and go, "Boo hoo hoo hoo," laugh about it. And the whole 9 yards of being a cowboy and stuff, you want to make sure that you're doing the right thing and making sure that you're relying on the coworkers. And when you have coworkers, that they're doing the right thing that you have them doing, meaning, hey, whatever. Now, my dream truck for a farm that I want to be working on, I'm going to show you. This is my dream truck that I want to be able to drive around on a ranch or whatever, how big of the ranch it may be, and bring back tons and tons of hay um, on this ranch. So, with that being said, this is the truck that I want to totally drive around to go and get tons and tons and bales of hay. And that's a Dodge. And I'm big on Dodges. I'm big on Toyotas. I'm big on, you name them. I'm not big on Fords no more. Fords to me are garbage. Found on the road dead is what I think about, Fords. Um, So, you just gotta, you gotta do what you can and do what you please. And I'm gonna tell you, I got some pictures of me on a horse, and this is one of them. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share some of these pictures. This was from when me and my sister and a friend of mine went, and he's in the picture as well. Chris Yurge. You'll get to see what he looks like. Um, Here's me and my sister and her boyfriend, which is right here. Okay, and then and then here I am riding, and they're still left behind. I'm way ahead of them. So, um, and then when we got back to the stables or whatever, let's see if I can rotate my phone here so you guys can actually see. This picture is actually on my homepage of my tablet, my computer here. So that's all of us all lined up together. As you guys can see, I'm in the middle. So, and it was a very fun day that day, and I loved it. Um, so with that all being mentioned and being said here, I love riding horses. I've done it multiple times, and here I am here standing right next to a horse. So it's it was very funny, very fun, and yeah, I didn't fall off. I mean, I almost did, but it wasn't to where I completely fell off the horse. So, but you want to be like, making sure of what you're doing is making sure that you're on there steady, you're balanced. Because I'm going to tell you that if you're not balanced, there's a way that if you lean to one side and that horse is riding or walking, whatever you want, whatever however you want to put it. If you're leaning to the side and he's walking or whatever, you might fall into the dirt or wherever he might be walking to. So therefore, you want to make sure that you're on there steady and that you're holding balanced. Um, Main thing is that you're wanting to be where you're at right now. Where I'm at is here in the cowboy room. Okay, and I might play us a little tune way later tonight, about 7:30 when I come back on here, which will probably be tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow at 7:30 Friday, because every Friday as I go live, 7:30. Now, if there's a time that I might be too busy or whatever, I will be I won't be on here. But if there's days that I ain't too busy, I will be on here. But it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time on where you can be at within ranching, roping, whatever. And I'm gonna tell you, there's two dreams that I could have right now, or that I do have right now, is being uh, a bull rider and a bronc rider. And you might ask what a bronc is. It's a bronc that's a horse and it kicks while it's trying to buck you off. That's what that is. Same with a bull, but bull riding is just called bull riding. Bronc riding is just riding a horse that tries to buck you off of it. And so those two dreams right there, I wish I could have, and that I do have them. But there's people in the family that I live with that think that I won't do it, but in a way, I will do it. Uh, but there is injuries, and I don't care about injuries. I do want to do it. It's my dream. Always will be. And that saying that they say, "Oh, what happens if you jump off that saying that they use is, "What happens when you fall off a horse? You get back on it." So it's but you probably won't be able to if you're too injured. But if it's just a light fall and whatever, there's a way that you can ride. There's a way. There's always a time and a place for everything. That's always been my word, and that's the word that I'm sticking to. Now, within a way, I could be working right now, but here's the thing: it's raining, and I don't work out in the rain. But if I ever get a job out with horses and stables and stuff like that, I'm underneath a roof outside, so I could work outdoors. The only right the only reason why I said I couldn't work outside when I was in landscaping is because you can't ride a bike out in the rain. You can't even do landscaping out in the rain, really. If it's thunder and lightning and you have a metal shaft in your hand, you're gonna get shot. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta make sure that you're doing the right thing, making sure the people that you're working for are doing the right thing and stuff like that. There's just not a whole lot that you can actually ask for. There's not a whole lot that you can ask for. And I'm just going to go ahead and mention that if you ever were to ride a horse by yourself, that would be pretty much okay. But you want to make sure that you're holding your balance on a horse. You don't want to lead to one side and that horse take off, and then you're not on that saddle no more. So, but also always make sure that your feet are in the stirrups, in the little thing on the side of the saddle. Just make sure your feet are in those at all times. The reason why my feet weren't in them when I was on that horse on the picture is because I was wearing steel-toed boots and they just kept coming out of the stirrups. But the next time I will be wearing cowboy boots and what I'm wearing right now, so it would be a okay. And there's always a time and a place for every little step. And and it takes time to do this career that you're pretty much in right now. And I'm pretty sure Chris is off today because it was raining and he can't do pulls out in the rain or whatever. But and he wants to talk about get to work, but I can't work. I mean, I can, but I mean, I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for what I can do. I'm not going back to landscaping. I'm doing what I do here. You know, so it's called get up early, do what you got to do, and from the time you get home, take your boots off, go to sleep. That's my basis. When you get home, sleep, work work 4 or 5 hours, and then come home and sleep. So there you go. Uh, I've done it. I've worked so many hours and came home and took my boots off and went to bed. So, I mean, you guys could do the same thing, but you guys probably are going to say, "Oh, we're not on Joe time." But this is Cowboy JD, and within the next week or two, hopefully, every little step will be all right for y'all. And if there's any questions, you feel free to ask. Just don't feel studied, but make sure that the questions that you ask me are appropriate. Don't ask something that's not appropriate because I can't answer it here on YouTube. So, and it's like I don't even do anything that's inappropriate. Everything that I do is appropriate. So, there's your questions. It's been answered. So, um, if you were getting ready to ask me that question, it was already answered. But everything, anything that I do is within a good reason, and it's been appropriate. I don't do anything that's inappropriate. It just ain't my style. It ain't me. And I'm gonna tell you that if there's anybody out there in social media or whatever trying to give you their information, like pretending to be me when they're not me. There's plenty of people out there that can be pretending that they're certain people, but if they're out there pretending that they're me, trying to give you social media, or I mean, not social media, but your identity, trying to give it away, your information, anything like that, do not answer it. It's a scam. I'm just going to tell you that to be fair, that if they're trying to pretend that they're me, do not answer it because it is not me. It's somebody that's trying to pretend that they're me. So I just can't say that enough. And that's what I'm going to have to deal with within this career. There's people trying to pretend that there's certain people and they're not, they're not them. So just, but really, I just do this platform. I don't do any other platform. I don't do, um, I don't, I only do this platform. I do not do, what's that one? I can't think of it. Um, I can't think of the name right now, but as soon as I think of it and I come back on tomorrow, I'm pretty sure it will be on YouTube. I can't think of it right now, and I'm not going to blow my mind up trying to you know think of what it is. And oh, and I did get a cowboy vest. That's back there in the closet. I can actually show it to you. I got it from Tractor Supply. Um, and I got a nice pair of uh, Blue Mountain jeans from Tractor Supply, but they're in the dirty clothes. You guys will see them some other time on YouTube. Um, and the ones that I'm wearing right now are Ridge Cuts. Um, they're a good brand. They're brown and everything like that. But Ridge Cut is the way to go if you're doing what I'm doing as of right now within this career. And I can't say it enough. But within this career, it's going to be a lot easier and not any different than anybody else that does lawn care or YouTubes or anything like that. Within this career that I'm doing now, that I'm starting out, it's my first rodeo. It's my very first career. I've done it before, but I've never worked with. I mean, I've worked with horses. I've ridden horses. You've seen it. It's on here. But the main thing with you guys is that you want to make sure that you're holding balance. If you're coming to be this career or to this career or whatever career that you're in, you want to make sure you're balanced and making sure that you're getting paid and asking for that much money that you're working for. And there's a lot of people. I'm going to tell you, there's a lot of people that will care less and not even pay you. But I'm gonna get this vest and I'm gonna show it to you. It came from Tractor Supply. This hat was $40 from 7-Eleven. Um, and then the vest over here, I'm gonna show it to you right now. It's just this wood right here. It's just a light blue. It's really, really nice. Buttoned up. The button's up at the neck, but I hardly ever use the neck because of how big my neck is, and I'm pretty sure it'll choke me out. So I don't button the top. Just the ones that are for my belly. I just cover it up, and it fits me good. I didn't think that when I bought it, it was gonna fit me. And this is only a extra large, so it's like 1L. And then, of course, on the hanger it says 2XL, but on this it's just a XL. So I'm surprised it fits. But if you're looking for a nice pair of pants, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Blue Mountain Ridge Cut, Blue Mountain jeans. They're good. And then I forget what the other pair are. I'll grab them and I'll tell you in a second. But Blue Mountains are good, and then of course the Ridge Cuts, they're pretty good as well. But and then of course, if you're doing or fighting cattle or whatever, chaps. Okay, I just wanted to tell you I have chaps, and they're pretty. They're leather, and I got a black leather jacket in there. But a lot of times when I'm wearing this, I'll wear that blue jacket with these. And then now let me pull out these pair of pants here. These are probably a brand that I ain't never heard of. Yeah, these are a brand I ain't never heard of. I'm gonna go ahead and close this up here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that tag right here, show you. That's what these are. So if you guys are interested, you could look at those. Actually, Goodwill, I got these at. There was another pair in here, right here, and these are. I'm a 36, 34, so don't judge me. The tag, yeah, I'm a 36, 34, so don't judge my weight or my size. But the other pair is right here. If I could point to it, it's right there. So if you're interested, you can get a pair of whatever. And then I'm going to show you the Blue Mountains. They're about the same color as the pants that I have on as of right now, but they're a lighter color than what I have on now. So, and like I said, the pair that I have on now are Ridge Cut, and these are the other pair I'm showing you are Blue Mountain. I have jeans within Blue Mountain as well, but mainly these are Blue Mountain. They're a lighter color than what I have on now. So Blue Mountain. If you guys want to check them out, you can go for it. So, within this career, you can do what you need, do what you want, do what what you please. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. You can. Oh, let me show you the ones I got on now. I can't show you the tag until later, but these are the Ridge Cuts. So, as you guys can see, that's my knife case back there. I got my chain. You know, my phone's right here in my pocket. So main thing is the pants style, and then stuff like that. So these are ridge cuts. If you guys are interested in ridge cut, these are at Tractor Supply. The belt I got from World King and Zephyr Hills. So two different stores, but Tractor Supply is my most favorite store. That so and yes, I do have two different cowboy hats. I have a white one for church and this one for horseback. Um, now, if you guys are wanting to know, personally, I do not ride a horse bareback. I do not do that. I don't trust it. For one, I do not like. I would not tolerate that. So, riding a horse on saddle with an actual seat, that's something I will do. But riding a horse bareback, I won't do it. Just because I know for a fact that would probably end up hurting the horse. So if the horse has to wear a saddle, that's what I'll do. But bareback, no. So if that was going to be one of your questions of riding a horse bareback, I would not ever do it. But I would ride it with a horse with a saddle on it. But bareback, no. With that being said, I showed you the chaps. I have a practice lasso, which someone in my family likes to call it a jump rope, and I'm going to tell you that somebody's name is Jeff Harris, and that is going to be in the box back there in a bag, and I can grab it here on a later basis. Maybe tomorrow I'll show everything that I got. As of right now, it's not going to be the best bet. Um, yeah, that's about all of everything I got here for cowboy business. Just hats and the boots and stuff like that. And the boots that I have actually on right now, they're pointed. I don't I don't like them, but it was just what I got right now until I get money to buy a new pair. So, with that being said, I hope everybody liked this cowboy video. And sorry that I haven't been on here sooner. I've just been busy with Easter, and happy Easter to everybody. Those of you that don't celebrate it, happy Easter anyway. Um, and it is what it is. It's the main thing of this YouTube video that I like to mention is I do it for the people so that way they know the day in the life of what I like to do for a daily basis and stuff like that. I just basically do what I can to help people out. I help my sister out, but as much as I can. I try to help my aunts out the best I can. I try to help whoever I can out the best I can. But those of you that actually watch this YouTube video, thanks for watching. Tune in for more Cowboy JD, and Cowboy JD will be back on here tomorrow, 7:30. Okay, so don't rush anything. If you're late, that's fine. You don't have to be on here right on time. Uh, but all I ask is if you guys can share, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe. Those three things or four things that I just mentioned. Um, you know, I just appreciate you guys watching and stuff like that. But within Cowboy JD careers and stuff like that, just tune in for more if you can. That'll be the best thing for you guys. But 7:30 tomorrow night, I will be back on here. So stay tuned, y'all. Peace.